Что ты придумала? Ты сказать мне это никак не можешь, нет?
It feels like this cavern has been here since the dawn of time.
Да, в такой пещере я побывать, пожалуй, хотел бы. Страшновато, но прикольно.
I don't know who or what they're supposed to represent. They're really imposing. I know from the Vatican files that there were human sacrifices here in order to see if their souls were good or evil. The same sort of idea as witch burning. Mordred wrote that a soul could leave the mirror if its shade was already bound here, which is exactly the case here now. So, if Adrian were to die here, then Mordred would win. Adrian's soul would have been freed from eternity, and his body would take on Mordred's soul. But we have to get Mordred's soul shade out of Adrian one way or another. We absolutely have to make sure Mordred's actual soul can't leave the mirror. And Adrian's soul has to stay where it is.
Sounds right.
Она выдала тираду.
Adrian's reflection is a mix of his own soul and Mordred's soul shade. I don't have any better way of describing it. There's absolutely no way Adrian's soul can be allowed to lose the struggle against Mordred's shade. But what is on the other side? Only Mordred's soul? Or has Adrian got one of those soul shades as well? Adrian, can you read me the section about the shades from the Book of the Guardians, please?
The ancients' graves are watched over by their shades. Their fate has been thus for thousands of years now, with no end ever envisaged. They were born in death, and it is death they wish to spread. The ancients forced them into our world. Thus, they don't belong here. They can be neither caught nor appeased. However, the light from the green flame unsettles them. It drives them into the darkness. One should not come too close to them there. Their power is old, very old.
Что-то насчет зеленого огня, который все подделает, я правильно угадал?
A shade is created in every case when somebody dies, but not in this world, but behind the mirror.
И...
There's nothing to do.
I wouldn't know.
Не надо, не надо.
I wouldn't know what I might ask.
Ясно.
And I don't feel any revulsion. None at all. If Valentina doesn't come up with something soon, he's won. No, I have to pull myself together, or else all of our efforts are gonna be in vain.
Опять же, извините, что я все пропускаю, просто я уже спешу, я хочу это закончить.
It goes one heck of a long way down. I can't see the bottom. Those are the same statues as in the room with the scales. That's what it is then. The black mirror, the shade portal. There's such an extraordinary attraction coming from it. I've got a persistent urge to look into it.
Окей.
I wouldn't know what I might have.
И я не знаю, что же мне сделать. О, мы можем его усыпить. Это бред.
No, the poison first. And if everything goes okay, then I'll inject the adrenaline.
Ага, она хочет его отравить. Вот в чем ее идея. Она хочет его отравить, а потом оживить. Это бред. Я не очень понимаю, но ладно.
Adrian, have another look in Mordred's book. Maybe there's more there now.
I did not want him to die. I wanted to save him from his wretched fate. I wanted to make him my son again. My son. No bastard from the loins of my cursed brother. I have kept to the ritual exactly. Everything has worked well, only I was unable to bring a beat back to his heart. I tried everything, all in vain. From now on, I am quite alone. There is no one whom I can initiate. Marcus has taken everything from me, and now I shall take everything from him. I must make haste. My sword. First, I have to conclude the experiment with it. It appears that I have created a shade for it. That could mean that I can use it on the other side. If I succeed in crossing to the other side without dying, then I will rule both sides. Strange as the black stain on the blade, since its contact with the other side, the black is spreading inexorably. Rituals, experiments with a sword. What the hell was Mordred doing here?
It sounds like he was trying out an ancient druidic soul transfer ritual on his own son.
A soul transfer? He simply murdered him.
Does it give the procedure for the ritual in the book by any chance?
No.
Ну, ничего, мы просто уложим Эдриана, отравим ее, потом введем ему адреналин, и все будет хорошо.
I could give Adrian something to really slow his heartbeat down, like a poison. Then, that would have to free Mordred's soul from Adrian's body. But then, Adrian's soul would be freed as well, and he'd die. It could be possible to resuscitate him with adrenaline. I will only have to give him a small shot into a vein soon after. At that time, Mordred wasn't in a position to do that. Nobody knew about adrenaline back then. Today, it's possible. It's dangerous for sure, but it's the only possibility I can see right now. I'd better not say anything about it to Adrian, for now.
Да, зашибись, давай.
I could, but it could at that it's I'd better not.
Я понял, где эти, я только возьму.
Adrian's shade needs a weapon to conquer Mordred, but I'm afraid that an ordinary blade isn't going to do the job. Mordred's already dead, and you can't pass a weapon through the mirror just like that. Wait, Adrian, what was that just now in Mordred's book about his sword?
It says, strange as the black stain on the blade, since its contact with the other side, the black is spreading inexorably. And here, it appears that I have created a shade for it. That could mean that I could use it on the other side.
That's it. We need Mordred's sword.
Can't be all that difficult. Find a sword with a black stain.
Ну, а как? А где?
Then,
Да,
but
я
it could at that it's I'd better.
понял. Понял я.
This altar has.
Да.
Mordred's grave.
Mordred's. According to Mordred, he used the bones of the dead to bring their shades into this world and then keep them here. So, we could lure Mordred's shade out of Adrian by using his bones, just like he once did with that king. Adrian, we need Mordred's bones for the ritual. Can you do that?
Yeah? In one piece?
Just remember how they all go together, and then lay them on the altar in the same layout. Okay, I think I know how we're going to do this.
I can't wait.
Right. The Black Mirror seems to be a portal into another world, a kind of shade world. If a human dies anywhere near the portal, then a shade is born on the other side of the mirror. At the same time, there are two possibilities for that person's soul. If they were of pure heart, their soul shade remains behind the Black Mirror, and their soul
flies shade free up to heaven?
It's free, yes, but if that person was evil, then their soul is sucked from their shade into the mirror.
And then?
It's trapped. The souls in the mirror are slaves to the shades. They can become their instruments to be exploited.
Oh, that means that the shades are only evil if their soul was too.
Marcus was supposed to have battled his way through an army of shades before he killed his brother. Mordred has found out how to bring shades through the portal.
Okay, but Mordred's shade is already out. You can see that clearly from my reflection.
Correct. Therefore, his soul is more or less defenseless and alone behind the mirror and is just waiting until it can come through.
And that might happen if I touch the mirror. Is that it?
That, we don't want to find out. Therefore, we can bind Mordred's shade to his mortal remains. Doing that stops the shade from getting in our way, at least. And then your shade, Adrian, can take over Mordred's soul. Or even better, destroy it.
My shade? I thought a shade only comes into being when somebody dies.
You do have to die.
Okay. And why didn't you let me jump from the roof then? That would have been more comfortable.
Then you would be irretrievably dead. Adrian, I will resuscitate you. If your body shuts down for a few minutes, your soul will... How can I say this? Be free. I know there are plenty of near-death experience reports which confirm this. A soul shade will generate simultaneously on the other side of the mirror.
Won't that cause some kind of brain damage?
Don't worry, Adrian. The human brain can get by for a few minutes without a heartbeat. Your soul will return to your body just as soon as you have a heartbeat again. It's not the first time I've come across this. Near-death experiences are usually what has happened when people believe that God has spoken to them.
Okay, and then? Is my soul shade supposed to strangle Mordred?
No. We know that Mordred has made the sword usable on the other side. To put it better, the soul-like mirror reflection. You'll take it to the other side and be able to kill Mordred's soul with it. Shades are stronger there than they are here.
Have I got this right? Souls are strong here, and the soul shades are weak?
Exactly, and the other way around too. Which means that Mordred's soul is very weak on the other side.
Well, that sounds like there's some absurd logic to it. And what's the story with Mordred's shade then?
We'll keep it outside the mirror using the bones, so that it can't cross over to defend his soul. After that, the same thing ought to happen to the shade that happens to a soul when the body dies.
It'll go back into the mirror.
But there would still be a problem.
Yeah?
You need Mordred's sword, and apart from the broken tip. I don't know where that is.
In the book, there was something about a blackness that came out from the sword, spreading itself even further.
Of course. That's why Greg and Steve had problems with that. The tea room, the fungus... There was a constant problem there with the damage, apparently, coming from the extinguishing water after the fire.
Then the sword has to be there. I'll go and get it.
Stop. You're not going to lay a hand on any kind of sword, and especially not one of Mordred's. I'll get it. I need to get the book from the library anyway. One about poisons. These down here are somewhat out of date.
And what am I supposed to do in the meantime?
You could lay out Mordred's skeleton on the altar. See you soon.
Я очень надеюсь, что они это сделают автоматически, или она это сделает. Да, я должен заниматься этим.
I can never remember the arrangement of the bones. I hardly ever paid attention in biology.
Ну, возможно, ты можешь... Да, точно, сфотографировать.
There are just too few pictures of you, Mordred. I'll just take the big bones. All the bones from the hands and feet have already turned to dust. I hope that's not gonna upset Mordred's soul shade.
Круто. Ой, какой ужас. Я записываю уже 44 минуты. Наверное, придется это разбить на две части. Эх. Дурацкая последняя фигня. Идешь целую вечность. Это же... Как так можно? Никакой... Нет этой... чувства меры у тебя нет никакого. Вот что я тебе скажу.
I'll put the bones down first, so it's easier to sort them.
Бум?
Right. so let's see how good my anatomical knowledge is.
Я не хочу собирать эту чушь. Я могу их даже крутить, боже мой. Вот это я называю сложный. Сложный фигов. Боже мой, что это вообще? А, это сюда. Как-то так. Наверное, наоборот. Кто скажет мне, что это неверно? Я знаю, все скажут. Я искренне хочу пропустить эту чертову головоломку. Ну вот, он уже еще меньше похож на Халка. Это идеальный человек. Чего вам еще надо? Чего вам еще надо? Куда лучше? Ну куда лучше? Я просто уже влюблен в него. Так, все, головоломку с ответом я пропускаю. Мне по барабану, потому что... Ладно, это возможно, я понимаю, что это возможно, но просто какими сторонами эти кости вообще повернуты и... То есть я потом понял, что все-таки вот это вот руки, они здесь, и вот это вот ноги, может, она не наоборот, или не наоборот. Я как не пялюсь в эту дурацкую картинку, я не вижу разницы. Ну, не то, что разницы, я не вижу зацепок, что ли.
Yep, that looks right. Now I just have to wait for Valentina.
Круто. И теперь мы в облике Валентины, наверное, должны спороть это место. Она как будто бы прожгла дыру в стене лазерным лучом из кинжала.
One sword with a broken tip. Mordred's sword.
Господи, вот это жуть. Так, меч есть, значит, возможно...
I still need the book about poisons from the library. After that, I'll go back to Adrian. Hopefully he was able to put Mordred's skeleton back together.
He's not
I've
able
got the
to
sword.
do that.
Have you done it?
Ой, здравствуйте, скелет Мордреда лежит как надо, потому что я не смог сделать это. Я ублюдок. Все можете надо мной смеяться. Это ужасная загадка, отвратительная.
Mordred's skeleton's lying ready on the altar.
Good. Are the bones lying like they were before?
Head at the top,
Конечно.
legs at the bottom. I reckon so. Have we got everything we need?
Looks like it. The poison's ready as well.
Is it gonna hurt?
Probably not. It paralyzes the heart muscle, but don't worry. I've got a syringe full of adrenaline here to bring you back to the land of the living.
Sounds like one of Phil's torture experiments, with me taking the Ralph role.
It'll be okay, Darren. Put your trust in God. Now, I'm going to get the poison, and then we can get started.
Чё? Только не говорите, что мне придется это тоже смешивать. Нет, все как-то...
Poison. It slows down the circulation and then the heart stops. Pain-free. I've had to do this all rather quickly, unfortunately. But the books in the library say it ought to work.
Вот так. Ой, надеюсь, мне не придется сражаться в зеркале.
Good. You have to drink this.
Wait, if I don't manage to finish off Mordred, what happens then?
You have to win. It's your only chance. If you don't manage it, he'll kill you and his soul will take over your body.
How are you gonna know if I've done it? What I mean is, when will you resuscitate me?
I'm going to have to give you the adrenaline within 5 minutes at the latest, or else you'll die. Adrian, you have to do it.
All right. Valentina?
Yes.
See you later.
Yes. See you later, Adrian. Something's not right. Oh god, that's Mordred's soul. And that isn't Adrian's soul shade. I think he's done it. I need to get him back quickly, or else he'll be gone forever.
Да, супер! Бум, я надеюсь.
Oh no, it's not working. Adrian! Adrian, come back! Thank God, you're alive.
What happened? I feel sort of different.
You've beaten Mordred, and the curse along with him. You've done it.
Really? The curse is finally broken?
Yes. The last of the Gordons has done it. Let's get out of this place and never come back.
Such a lame ending. Or... Я хотел сказать, или нет. Да, там неплохой черепок загорелся. О, я очень рад, что Черное Зеркало 3 сделали все эти люди. Они молодцы. Так или иначе. По всей видимости, мне придется все это поделить на 2 серии, но загрузить их в один день. Так что все нормально. Что еще мы можем сказать про эту игру? После всего увиденного, услышанного и непонятого, отчасти понятого, я могу сказать, что третье зеркало мне понравилось очень сильно. Какая игра из всех 3 частей понравилась, мне больше сказать сложно. Это точно была не 2-я часть, но я думаю, что вполне возможно это была и 1-я. Или, может быть, 3-я. По-моему, это были немножечко слишком разные игры, чтобы их сравнивать. Поэтому, наверное, я их не буду сравнивать их. И, собственно, это почти что все, что я хотел сказать. Еще раз спасибо человеку по имени Миша Кузьмин за то, что посоветовал эту прекрасную вещь. По всей видимости, экран движется вниз, и мы скоро увидим что-то еще в зеркале. А может и нет. Короче, я думаю, что мы промотаем субтитры. Титры. Я все время субтитры, точнее, титры называю субтитрами в каждой игре. Просто в каждой. Но я знаю разницу. Учтите, что я знаю. О, вы только посмотрите, special thanks, и внутри, внизу написано and thank you, это Это было интересно. И еще, разумеется, интересно смотреть на вот эту фигуру, стоящую внизу. Что же, кажется, я слышал, что-то должно случиться после субтитров, хотел сказать, титров.
And how are you getting on?
Pretty well, I think. I'm done with the main points. Now I just have to get everything across into the Book of the Guardians. Do you want to have a look for yourself?
If I may.
Here, I'm not sure about this last point.
Внизу написано... Так, проклятие... Мордред был уверен, что освободился довольно скоро. Ну и... Идите нафиг.
That's already a good beginning. When are you going to put it into the Book of the Guardians?
Not before I eat. Anyway, now I know what all those black balls were about.
I can't wait.
Mordred writes in his book that he had carried out a soul transfer ritual, but instead of all the bones, he had only used the skull and one black ball. The shade didn't go back into the mirror anymore after that, but always stayed close by the ball.
Ah, then you can trap souls with these balls as well. To all intents and purposes, they can be thought of as the body, right?
It gets better. Here, with the help of the soul trapped in the ball, one can, to a certain extent, control the shade. He writes that he put a ball in his brother's bedchamber, under the bed, in the hope that the shade would rob his soul in the night. But that didn't work. He suggests that Marcus's soul was too pure for the shade. What do you think? Do you think there are still shades going around today, doing all their evil stuff?
I don't know. But if there are, then it's your job to stop them.
Ну что, получается, что я Индиана Джонс, да? Ура! Вы победили. Не слышу музыку в меню. Почему я не слышу музыку в меню? И почему... А, нет, здесь как бы могла быть еще одна мини-игра, но... Пазл скелет, да. Как интересно, да. Да. Видео. Одно видео пропущено. Надо же. Еще одно видео пропущено. Как интересно. И создание полное, наверное. Это был мистер Фрей. Бай. Как-то так. В основном потому, что мне все меньше и меньше есть чего сказать в конце игр. Это бред, я знаю. Ой. Всего хорошего.